So, Callan Ridge through to his third televised quarter-final, having reached the World Match Play last year, along with the World Championship. Now he ends this year by reaching the final day at the Players' Championship finals. Looking to join him is Joyce, his fellow Newcastle native. But he goes up against Jonny Clayton, and from what we saw from that joint walk-on, the crowd, because there are plenty of Welsh darts fans here in Minehead, as there always are, but they're all watching one man because he's the last Welsh player standing.
Yes, he is, and if you're wanting to play a very fun Saturday night libation game, every time you hear the words, "Come on, Johnny boy," well, you get the drift of it. Well, if it's going to be an old Geordie quarter-final, Joyce against Rids, Ryan's going to have to be very good indeed.
Yeah, Jonny Clayton
100.
This afternoon came through against the recently crowned European champion Ross Smith, and that was probably a match where both players, well, even before a dart was thrown in the tournament, both players were probably looking at that as a potential second round tie and thinking whoever wins it has got an excellent chance of getting through to the semi-finals. Big favourites in this part of the draw, particularly when the number one seed Damon Hester was beaten early.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Johnny knows exactly how to make the final at Minehead. He did it back in 2017. He's got a running tournament average of 94, which is not that far away from Ryan Joyce, so this is a pretty even contest based on form.
Yeah, that was a real emergence of Jonny Clayton, wasn't it? The 2017 Players' Championship Finals run was taken apart by MVG in that final, but he's done that to him a few times since.
Yeah, I think he might have learned quite a bit from that final. I mean, let's face it, MVG was irresistible in that final, picking up not his only Players' Championship Finals crown. But I think doing that in his second appearance at the tournament tells you a lot about Jonny Clayton.
80.
He didn't win a game the first time
Johnny,
he played in it in 2016, but he came back the next year and made the final. He's a learning machine.
And he's one of the best players in the world at taking out these kind of combinations.
92.
Almost did it to hang on to his throw in the opening leg. Ryan Joyce looking to pick his pocket now.
Same kind of route that was done by Rids in the previous match.
67.
Same sort of result.
Yeah, and it was the same kind of dart. Despite the fact it was low, it was good for Ryan, where a high one's good for Rids. Opting to split here, Jonny Clayton, backing himself with two darts at a double. And it proved to be the right thing.
It's always the right thing when you get the numbers and the double at the end. Well, let's have a little look back in time, shall we? Because just to prove how career-changing it could possibly be if you make a final here at Minehead. Clayton started that in 2017. His career went from strength to strength after that. He actually won a European Tour event in 2018. And then he's gone on this incredible run of winning a tournament every single season since 2017. But that year, he took out Jeffrey de Graaf in the first round by 6 legs to 4. After that, he took out Gezi Price
97.
by 6 legs to 2. And after that, it was Stephen Bunting 10-8 at this stage of the tournament. Then it was Beaton, it was Cross, and ultimately lost to MVG. Cross is actually on the main stage right now against Martin Schindler.
He leads at 8-6. The twice,
100. Ryan, you require 96.
the once world champion rather, Rob Cross. Maybe I've got a crystal ball.
If that comes around, I'm not going to let you forget it.
60.
Well, Joyce is miles ahead in this leg.
Now, they're both very similar in the regard that
60.
they like to stack the darts on top of each other. But I'm perplexed as to why Ryan Joyce has decided to leave double 18. It's not his usual thing. Double 9.
Game
that's
shot
very good.
second leg. Ryan Joyce,
But
third
I
leg.
have to
It's
say
Johnny
this,
throw
if he's been
first.
practicing with Callan Rids, there's a few things going on which are very similar between the two of them. They seem to
100.
have established a pattern of leg play. And whenever you do something in the practice room, and it seems to come around a lot, like leaving double 18, and you're hitting it a lot, the right thing to do
140.
is to constantly leave it in the match. Maybe for Callan, he was hitting tops a lot, that's why he was leaving tops a lot. And boy, did it work
100.
for him.
After them, I'm fascinated by the throw of Ryan Joyce. Throws from almost above his eyes, right in the middle. But if you watch how the darts land in the board, I'll use Johnny Clayton's darts first
83.
to give the opposite example. Now, the way his darts land, the point very firmly going to the board. It looks like if the board wasn't there, the dart will be travelling a lot further. When Ryan Joyce's darts land, almost the whole dart is dropping. It's on its way down. It's nearly at the end of its journey.
Yeah, it's like the plane going into the runway, just going downwards. Whereas Johnny's are actually going on an upward trajectory. You're absolutely right.
53.
Both, though,
Ryan, you require 98.
very, very capable of producing excellent arrows.
58. Johnny, you require
This time Joyce
68.
leaves tops. Clayton. Looking to double 4.
Game
I'm
shot
finding
in the
it.
third leg. Johnny Clayton.
He'll be under no illusion,
Fourth leg, it's
Ryan
throw
Joyce,
first.
as to how difficult it is to beat Johnny Clayton. He's played him twice. In the first meeting, he averaged 97. In the second, he averaged 100, and he lost both of them.
81.
This is the face of surprise. Not the first time I've said that this weekend. But I think Johnny, coming to stage 2,
81.
he won't mind. Some players will see it as, hang on, why am I not in the main stage? But Johnny doesn't concern himself with things like that. He doesn't use up
99.
unnecessary mental bandwidth on things like, why am I not on the main stage? This is why Johnny's so well liked and respected. Because all he does is he asks, where am I playing? Who am I playing against and at what time? Okay, thanks very much.
Ryan Joyce is looking to do exactly what
58.
Callan Rids has just done and book himself for place in a third televised quarter-final. Got to his second when he reached the last eight at the
100.
World Series of Darts finals earlier this year. And he was in excellent form there, wasn't he? Beating Dimitri van den Berg and going all the way with Dirk van Dijvenbode, who we will
100.
see in our
Johnny,
final
you
match
require 140.
on this stage.
Well, Johnny was going for the 60 with that
40.
second dart, and he always runs the risk of doing that because of the lie of the dart. Joyce has mistakenly left 163, but he's taken the 63 off.
83.
A little bit more for good
Johnny,
measure,
you
just in
require
case Clayton
100.
doesn't clean up a ton.
Too high.
40. Ryan, you require 80.
He scored 40 the last 2 visits. Very much like Keane Barry, these two are going to have no bother on
40.
shots like 80 or 60.
Johnny, you require 60.
Because they get the darts to land very similarly to Keane. Tops.
Game
Clayton's in
shot
front
the
by
fourth
3
leg.
legs to 1.
Johnny Clayton.
All going according to plan so
Fifth
far.
leg, it's Johnny to
But
throw
we said that
first.
about Keane Barry in the
Game on.
first match of the night.
And it has gone according to plan for Rob Cross. The number 5 seed is through to the quarterfinals. He's beaten Martin Schindler.
177.
And will take on Dirk van Dijvenbode or Ryan Searle in the last 8 tomorrow. Cross getting the job done in that one by 10 legs to 6.
And how much of an advantage is it that he's got the job done by 8 o'clock on a Saturday night? He can be in bed in an hour if he wants to get a really big night's sleep ahead of what could be a very, very long day tomorrow.
I was getting darting deja vu for a moment there, Paul. The last time me and you were sat commentating on stage 2, Johnny Clayton playing, he hit a 9 darter, didn't he?
Go, Johnny, go.
99.
5 perfect on that occasion, but Clayton is making his move here.
Well, so far, it's kind of destructive. I'm sure there are lots of people watching on from the northeast of England hoping for a northeast double into the quarters.
98. Jonny, you require
And a guarantee
84.
of a semi spot.
Great first start.
Game shot
And
on
that
the fifth
is
flag.
easy for
Jonny
Clayton.
Clayton.
He's not only finding the beds, he's finding them right in the middle. Nothing but net from JC.
Yeah, great leg of darts. Started with the 177. And going out in 11.
So far,
58.
97 the average. He's had 2 maximums and 57% on his doubles. Just imperious from one of the best players on the planet,
121.
who I said yesterday has still got work to do, plenty of it, to get himself in the Premier League. I tell you what, I think
93.
he's 4 games away from being back in the Premier League, and I think he's got to win the next 4. Otherwise, he's going to have to go deep in the Worlds, something like a semi-final.
140.
Well, he certainly would become a favourite to get to at least the semi-finals in this tournament. Actually, probably already is, having beaten Ross Smith this afternoon. He's in a very good position here. And Ryan
58.
Joyce, having lived with him seemingly for the first sort of 3 legs of the match, is just starting to tail off.
You fear for Ryan's position
85.
if Clayton is able to keep his foot on the pedal like this. And trust me, Clayton can drive fast, because I know what car he's got.
It's not the old
Jonny,
council
require
van anymore.
155.
Nope, it's something a bit quicker over the old mile on a strip. Let's put it that way.
59.
He puts his foot down, and I won't see it very long.
Well, he's putting his foot down in this game, and Ryan Joyce better get out of the stinger.
$96. Jonny, you require 96.
Oh, look at it. He's doing it again.
Game shot on the
Just
sixth
like the
flag.
84.
Jonny
It's just
Clayton.
going to the other side for the double.
Seventh flag. It's
Extraordinary
Johnny to
stuff
throw
from
first.
JC.
Game on.
Classic Clayton. Clinical Clayton.
I've got a point to make, and I know it's a small one. I've already had a tweet about my jibe about
58.
nobody being clean shaven, by the way. No razors used here. Just saying. Anyway, why do the referees not do this anymore? Joyce hit 96,
93.
and then Clayton required 96, so it'd be 96. Jonny, you require 96. They don't do that little up and down thing.
85.
It's just deadpan.
You're a hard taskmaster, Paul
Of course
Nicholson.
I am. I'm a bit of a... Yeah, I'm an old school guy now. I'm 43 years of age.
100.
Great referee, though, that we've got now. Charlie Costerfield, incredible job he does.
Well, we were talking about the break situation in the previous match, and it ended up at 5 apiece.
82.
We're starting to worry that Ryan Joyce might end up 9-1 behind at the break.
I'll be hoping not. There's only one upside to being 9-1
58.
down. You've put yourself in the position for the best comeback in the history of darts. That's it. That's all I've got.
54.
Well, an opportunity here. Needs to start finding trebles again. That is a good guide to do so. It's a double-barreled marker. Slide it off them, Ryan, and it's just not
60.
happening. Nothing doing for Ryan Joyce.
And that's about as much emotion as you get from Ryan. He grasped those darts out of the board
100.
with the tiniest piece of disgust. He's still in this leg. He'd love to leave 50. Well, he can't now. Oh, nothing's going right.
55.
Well, he beds the ball just for...
Jonny, you require 100.
Well, that was actually a sensible play because 25 would have left 160.
Yeah, but he's not going to get a go at the 135, is he?
Game shot on the seventh flag. Jonny Clayton.
Just pass over that crystal ball.
Eighth flag. It's
His finishing has been,
Game on.
well, I could have said extraordinary. However, I'm going to judge him by his own standards. when he won the Masters and he beat James Wade, he was 90% in 19 legs. That is some personal best to beat. He's only 67% in this one. It's not as good as that, but still, it's rather good.
Yeah, it's the meatloaf percentage, isn't it? 2 out of 3.
81.
Where does that Johnny Clayton performance against Wade in that quarterfinal at the Masters that he won, where does that rank in the level of performances that you've always seen from everyone? Because for me, it's top tier.
Very high, because we often
60.
rave about averages and 180 hitting, etc., and big finishers, but the checkout start is the most important one, isn't it?
60.
Think about some of the performances you've seen in the past. I remember Whitlock had a Premier League game where I think he might have hit every double. Peter Manley got a nickname from
60.
hitting darts, hitting shots with one dart. Johnny Clayton now has a reputation of taking out 81 or 121 more than anybody
100.
else, because his scoring is so good, and when he's on form, he just knows how to hit bullseyes at the end of combinations.
Yeah, well, he's got a checkout percentage that suggests if he's
41.
got 2 darts at a double in any visit, then his opponent ain't coming back.
At this rate, I don't think
100.
Ryan Joyce is going to be coming back from many legs after the break.
Yeah, that 9-1 looks more and more likely. This is better. That's perfect.
But he's
100.
visibly annoyed
Johnny requires
with how things have gone so
160.
far.
Well, that would usually be at least a 140, wouldn't it, after that first dart?
Absolutely. And I think if you look at the stats
60.
and what happened in the first 5 legs, he was staying with Clayton average-wise at 95, but he's tailed off to 86.5. And Clayton, even though he's tailed off a couple of points, he's still getting to the finishing line and taking it
Johnny
immediately.
require
I wouldn't be
100.
surprised if he takes this in 2. How about 3?
80.
Chance.
Ryan, you require 48.
To stop the rot. He's lost the last 5.
Game shot.
Back
the
in
eighth
business.
flag. Ryan Joyce. Ninth flag. It's
I think
Johnny
his
to
favourite
throw
song right now
first.
will be
Game on.
You've Got a Friend in Me. And he doesn't have a better friend on the dartboard than double 16.
Well, he's found himself a foe in the ferret, that's for
95.
sure. The Welshman playing at a very, very good level. Look, it's not the
64.
astronomical average that we have seen from the odd player in this tournament, notably the likes of Danny Noppert. But
85.
he's more than competitive in every single leg, and the way he's finishing, he's going to have the chance to win every single leg.
We've only got one former champion left in the draw, haven't we?
93.
That's MVG. He would love another title. It would mean a lot to him. But what means more to Michael
100.
is getting that 4th World Championship in about, how long is it now? 6 weeks' time?
Well, for most players in the field of this tournament, it's about winning this title, and that in itself is an enormous achievement. But for a certain special
100.
breed of players, that is almost secondary to winning the one before the Worlds. To tell everybody, I am the man to beat.
Yeah, very true.
135.
It'd be a very different conversation you'd have between yourself and MVG or yourself and Gary Anderson
134. Johnny, you require
compared to
86.
Darryl Gurney, who won it here 4 years ago. Double 8.
70.
Ooh, you heard the clip of the wire, and
Ryan,
Joyce has
require
got an opportunity now
110.
to get within 3. Oh, now he doesn't.
78.
It wasn't a terrible
Johnny
dart.
requires
It just
60.
wasn't good enough. And he's left Clayton on one of his favourites.
Game shot on the 9th flag. Johnny Clayton.
One of those awkward switches across the
10th
board.
flag, it's Ryan to
Proves
throw
profitable.
first. Game on.
And the worst that it can be at the break is 7-3 Clayton. If it's 8-2, I don't think Ryan Joyce wins from any position.
60.
But, you know, 7-3, still got the remotest of likelihoods to get through the game, but against Clayton, the way he's been playing,
66.
I just don't know.
All is well for the Welshman at the moment. Did go into the World Championship last year as one of the favourites, didn't he? After actually amassing a similar TV title haul to that achieved by Michael van Gerwen this year. Won the Masters, the Premier League, the World Series finals and the World Grand Prix in 2021. And he played some brilliant matches, beating Keane Barry in a real belter of an opening round tie, demolishing Gabriel Clemens by 4-0 in the next round, and then lost out to Michael Smith in one of the games of the tournament, averaging 102.48 in defeat.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because that was an incredible contest. And that game with Keane Barry, oh my word. Somebody passed the mop, because I'm salivating. What a game that was.
And remember, Smith, of course, went on to reach the final. Who knows, but for the odd dart here and there,
96.
in a final set that went to overtime, whether or not that would have been Jonny Clayton clashing with Peter Wright in the showpiece.
100.
Do you think Johnny's strong enough to hold the Sid Waddell Trophy with one hand aloft like Peter Wright did?
I think he's strong enough to win the trophy, that's for sure.
I think it'd be funny if Boris Kritchmer won the title.
140.
It would look very small next to him.
How small is the gap going to be at this break?
100.
6 legs or 4.
71.
If Joyce doesn't take this and Clayton takes the 90, that'll be a bruiser. Oh, he's missed the single.
31.
Now for the sucker punch.
Jonny, you require 90.
Going to be the bull.
And it's in the ball.
On the 10th leg.
And he's in
Jonny
total
Clayton.
control here, Clayton. And Ryan Joyce goes backstage to ponder the barrage of brilliance that's been thrown at him by the Welshman, who leads 8-2 and needs just 2 more legs to progress to the quarter-finals. Welcome back to the action. Jonny Clayton in need of just 2 more legs. He has both feet, ankles, shins and probably knees in the quarterfinals right now. Ryan Joyce looking for some kind of inspired comeback, the likes of which we almost saw this afternoon from a certain Dave Chisnell, Paul.
Slightly bigger, weight as needed for Ryan Joyce. And let's not forget, Chisnell had a chance to take us to the distance. It was 5-4, he missed 3 darts at tops. And Williams took his shot, 52 out in 2. And he is in the last 16. But who's going to make the last 8?
11th leg. It's Jonny to throw first. Game on.
Clayton has been clinical with his checking out, 8 out of 15, including a 1-2-2 check out.
85.
He's outscored Ryan Joyce, hit double the amounts of ton visits, leads him 4-3 on the 140s, and they both have 2 maximums. Ryan Joyce has only had 6 darts at double in
58.
the entire match so far.
That's the problem. His percentage isn't bad at 33%. In fact, Clayton's up at 53%, but only getting
100.
6 shots at the 10-leg break, that is a big problem.
Just a reminder then, Rob Cross has beaten Martin Schindler on the main stage. Here on stage 2, Cannon Ridge
60.
got the better of Keane Barry. And Luke Humphries is currently 3-0 up on
100.
Krzysztof Ratajski, and he's running riot in that one, 112 average from the number 2 seed.
I think he's in pretty good shape, Humphries, considering what we saw earlier. I think the energy levels and the form he's got right now, he is well tailored for this tournament.
$118.
Great switch there from Clayton. And maybe getting to the point where Joyce is needing a Whitlock cave-in
99.
situation.
Jonny, you
Needing to win 8 straight.
4-0 now to Humphries. He's 4 clear already. Clayton is
58.
just about to go 7 clear.
What's he up to? It's a good score.
Is it a sign of resignation?
Dead cattery? Didn't make any difference. Ironically, it actually made sense, leaving 59. Because you don't want to be stuck on something like 65 or 62, 63. He got himself into single to double combination range, but ultimately, Clayton didn't even see it.
60.
I'm with you though, Murph. I just think there's no way back for Ryan Joyce here. He's had a good tournament. £10,000 he will get if he doesn't come out of this, but it will be 15,000 and the opportunity of winning tomorrow for Clayton.
140.
I think the race is run from Ryan Joyce. He's already been a spoiler in this tournament, of course. He did for the top player in Welsh darts, Gerwyn Price, in the opening round, the world #1. So Jonny Clayton is dishing out the revenge to
50.
some tune.
And Clayton should go to the 18s here, and he does. Should have gone to the 60 with dart 2.
96.
I know it's easy for me to say that, but he's the one who's still in the tournament.
If he does get over the line, I think if is
57.
factual only. When he gets over the line, let's just say it, shall we? He will face Callan Rids, who beat Keane Barry 10-8 earlier. I think I said it was 10-9, but it was 10-8. Felt like he went to a last leg decider, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a good game. This one is not going to go to a last leg decider. Clayton may indeed get this done in the next 2 darts.
94. Jonny requires 68.
Make it 3.
36.
Come on, Ryan, keep it going.
Ryan, you require 100.
If he does, and this goes to a last leg decider and Ryan Joyce wins, our cursed commentary will be clipped up forever.
This dart's going in. Oh,
80.
it's not. And Clayton does come back to finish at 10-2.
Jonny, you require 32.
Double 16 then for Jonny Clayton to complete a thrashing, a bashing.
24.
But Jonny Clayton cannot cash in.
Ryan, you
How
require
many's that?
20.
4? Let's keep count, just in case we need it. And we do need it.
On the 12th leg.
The comeback's on.
Ryan Joyce. 13th leg, it's Jonny to throw first.
Well, that was to break. That's the first little bit of insurance. He's got a really good policy here, Jonny Clayton.
140.
Well, let's talk about that Cavan Whitlock situation back at the... Was it the 2013 European Championship?
Yeah, the year after he'd won it, yep.
Well,
Simon Whitlock.
he afforded Jamie only 1 match start in the last 8 legs. 1.
Winning all of them to come back and win, Simon Whitlock, and then running around the stage, and then running out of stage to run around and looking like a lost puppy.
And he shouldn't have ran because he had a bit of a dodgy ankle at the time.
Other great comebacks include, of course, Adrian Lewis against James Wade at the World Championship.
96.
James Wade himself against Mervyn King at the Masters.
Hamilton against Whitlock at the match play.
Waits against Wade in some ways at the Grand Slam in the final.
There was a game between Smith and Chisnell
97.
at the match play. I'm sure that Chisnell was 7-1 down or something. I think Chisnell won 10-9 or 10-8 in the end. It was somewhat ridiculous like that. I'll have to dig that one out.
95.
He managed to dig that dart out and left himself a finish. So, despite Jonny Clayton being a point in front, Joyce is on a finish first.
59. Ryan, you require 170.
To keep us going again. And the biggest finish of the day. In fact, of the tournament. It would have been.
105.
Well, this is the type of thing that Jonny Clayton does. He threatened this finish in the very first leg of the match. Missed double 18 for it then, but hits double 16 to get it now. And Jonny Clayton completes a comfortable victory against Ryan Joyce to progress into the last 8, where he will take on Callan Rids. He's through to the Sunday session, and there is still chance of Welsh glory this weekend. Do stay with us here on stage 2, here at the Players' Championship Finals in Minehead, because coming next we've got Canada's Matt Campbell taking on the man who won the UK Open here back in March, the Freeze, Danny Noppert.